Patrick Mahomes, understandably, is the top-priced quarterback, top-priced guy in general at $7,400. You got Joe Burrow, you got Matt Stafford, you got Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's pretty safe to say most of these are not like the rest. Mahomes really in a class of his own. Do you need to spend up, though? Do you need to spend that salary on Mahomes, or is it more enticing maybe to pay down and pay up elsewhere?
Where's the respect for Joe Burrow? I mean, Mahomes is good, but these other guys are pretty good too. They've gotten to the championship games, and if you want to win that $1 million pouch, you should probably play Joe Burrow in this game. He got sacked 9 times and still threw for 344 yards. The numbers against Las Vegas weren't great, 244, but that was a conservative approach. They had the lead for all of that game. They weren't really playing against a high-powered offense. Well, just look back to the last time they played a high-powered offense, which was Kansas City, and Burrow threw for 446 yards and 4 touchdowns. The week before that, 525 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the kicker is his receivers and his pass catchers are all really cheap. It's very easy to stack the Bengals. I don't see why you don't.
Matt, do you have a good reason why you don't?
Well, I think that a lot of people are going to do that. I think Mahomes will probably be the top-owned quarterback for GPPs, and I think Jamar Chase will probably be the top receiver. So this is not going to be a sneaky strategy. That's really the only reason, though. Like, Mahomes definitely deserves to be the highest-priced quarterback, and I think Burrow deserves to be the second most expensive quarterback. But I think going to the other game is reasonable because those guys are, it's another tier to Stafford and Garoppolo, but I don't think the drop-off is very significant. I think it's a little bit of a drop-off. And I think we could have a game where Burrow does turn the ball over, the Chiefs get up big, and then the other game ends up being a shootout and Stafford and Garoppolo are better. So as like a tournament pivot, I think there's plenty of reason to not play Mahomes, even though he does deserve to be the top quarterback. And I think that game probably will have more points.
Well, Steve, it's easy to make the case if you're just focused on differentiation above all else. Sure, go to Jimmy G, go to Garoppolo, because obviously he's not going to be nearly as owned as all those other guys. It's just, I think it's also pretty easy to argue he doesn't have the ceiling that the others do, at least offensively. Statistically, he doesn't do it week in and week out. So where would you lean?
Would you build a lineup with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, I mean, if I want to be different from everybody else and chasing $1 million, I mean, how else are you going to beat tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people? Maybe you need to.
No, you don't.
I'll send Steve a screenshot of my Garoppolo lineup. Just
there
to be clear.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt, because I guarantee you there won't be a screenshot to send, okay? So you just calm down right now. Let me tell you, quiet, Matt. You've had your time. You don't talk about Jimmy Garoppolo in a positive manner on this show, okay? Not necessary. Joe Burrow, all right? Jimmy B, he's a hunk, all right? You know who's one of the best quarterbacks against man coverage this season? It was Joe Burrow. Guess who runs a lot of man coverage? The Chiefs. Why do you think he threw for almost 500 yards in that game? Because Joe Burrow absolutely slices and dices man coverage. On the season, he averaged 9.2 yards per pass attempt. That was the best in the league during the regular season. In zone coverage, 8.7 yards per attempt. One of the best in the league. Joe Burrow is going to be able to do what he did to the Chiefs before and absolutely slice them up and have one of those monster games that we've seen already this season. That offensive line's got to do something. I don't know if they don't like Joe Burrow or something. You got to do a better job at covering your quarterback. That is the guy. The only reason you are as far as you are is with Joe Burrow. So do a better job at covering him. But seriously, this is such a good matchup for Joe Burrow. Obviously, Mahomes is in a class of itself. You know, what's Jimmy Garoppolo doing here? It's kind of funny. Why are you here? But Joe Burrow, that's the guy you want to be targeting this week.